like classic American writers, I would be Mark Twain, and he would be some asshole no one's ever heard of.
But like he's trying to tell you all the things that he. Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Drinkin Bros Fake News. Sorry, did we interrupt your conversation?
Yeah, we'll keep it going. You
Yoda,
can go ahead.
who is old as shit, but probably partied. That's what the,
we were talking about
viewers missed.
Mark Twain.
Yeah, we were talking about Mark Twain. Like if you and I were classic American authors, I would be probably Mark Twain because he was a dick to a lot of people, and you would probably be just some asshole
Hemingway.
No one's ever heard of.
Just Hemingway, dude.
Why Hemingway?
I'd be like a Kerouac.
Arrogance.
You would be cooking.
You would be not allowed
Going
to
to tend to my kids now.
Barefoot in the kitchen,
That's
cooking,
Hell yeah.
not voting.
That's true.
Well, actually, the not voting part might be true. I don't remember when Mark Twain died.
Oh yeah, I don't think
women weren't voting. Then.
It was before fucking 1920, right?
Yeah, had to have been.
He had a dope ass mustache though. Shit, man.
He really did. It
stash.
was strong.
Very fine.
And even
stash
the
on Twain.
unkempt hair was like working. Do you know what I mean? It all
He
was
went
like,
full Einstein with the hair, although he's before Einstein.
Yeah.
It was a look.
Very
for
Kanye
sure.
West.
I wonder. He died in 1910, and the Suffrage Act is 1920, if I'm not mistaken. So he knew it was coming. He was like, "Fuck this,
I'm out of here."
Yep.
Deuces.
Yep. I don't want to live in that world.
And you can't blame him.
We don't either.
And there weren't cars yet, really, in mass production. But I guess the Model A came out and the Model T in the early 1900s. So he was like, look, they're going to end up voting and driving these cars, and it's just going to be super dangerous.
It's going to be all fucked up.
And he can't see past his eyebrows. If you look at these pictures, his eyebrows have wings on them. They're coming up.
Yeah, they're huge.
So,
so good.
when it's really humid outside, makes his hair heavy, and they're just hanging down over his eyes.
I think he owned people,
Little
right?
Caterpillar.
And then he wasn't like able
slaves?
to own people anymore. I'm
Maybe.
just saying, like owning
I don't
people.
know. I mean, he
1910. He owned people.
He used the N word. Well, first of all, you couldn't own people in
Past
1910.
1865.
That's when he died.
He was born in 1935, so there's plenty of opportunity. 1835, yeah. Plenty of opportunity for him to own people. And he did use the N-word quite a bit in Huck Finn.
So
The Adventures of Huckleberry
Correct.
Finn, yeah.
But in my studies of Twan, if you will, I don't think he did. I don't think he did, actually.
Let's ask Google.
I think he was a real piece of
Did
shit, but I
Mark
don't think he owned anybody.
Twain own
But like
slaves?
there was a time when like owning people wasn't the same as being a piece of shit. Like it is now, you know?
Yeah,
but like
and
I've always been against it.
I'm watching John Adams again on HBO, the miniseries.
JQA?
Sure.
No. Adams. John Adams, not QA.
Ah, okay.
It's his son.
All right. What did that piece of shit do?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's the second president of the United States.
Yeah. What did he do? What was his thing?
He, Thomas Jefferson, and Ben Franklin wrote the Declaration of Independence. And the Constitution of the United States is based on the Constitution of Massachusetts, which he also wrote.
But also, like, what did he do, though?
And his son was, JQA was the sixth president of the United States.
Yeah, and I remember JQA. He gets all the hype. The first one is just like, you were great. You had the beer.
Well, he was a dick.
Yeah, he had the beer in Boston.
He was
it Paul Giamatti
that's Sam Adams, his cousin.
Okay.
But yes, Paul Giamatti played that role. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know the movie. I don't know the man.
No.
It's a great. It's not a movie. It's a TV series on HBO, but it's really good.
Either way, I know.
What were we talking about? Because
So
I was bringing that back.
You were talking about how
Not the
owning
dude.
people at a certain point was like not really like a big deal.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you like the majority of the founding fathers were pretty anti-slavery, but there were a lot of people. They wanted to keep the country together, so they were, they looked past it, I guess.
That's politics,
That's
baby.
shitbag behavior. But the point I was going to make is that JQA, while his father John was in England as ambassador to England, was courting a 14-year-old when he was 21. That was standard behavior back then as well.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
you're like, oh, I don't think he was a piece of shit. Well, you're like, well, at that time, being a piece of shit, it's all relative.
So when someone yearns for the good old days, I'm like, which
Sure.
good old days are you talking about? The ones where you could own people and fuck 14-year-olds? Because I'm in.
Yeah, because
Wait,
samesies,
whoa.
right?
Whoa.
Because
No.
twins.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
Speaking of pieces of shit, we're going to lead off with Mayor Bill De Blasio
God, this
of New York
fucking
City
cunt.
this week. Made a few Twitter posts that have raised some eyebrows, to say the least. If we could put those tweets on the screen, it'd be great.
Oh, shit.
From De Blasio.
Jamie, can I text you something that you can throw up on the screen?
Pull him up.
Or no?
Probably not. I'll see it. Yeah, just send it to me. I'll do what I can. Did he delete him? If so, I'll dip in.
No, he hasn't.
No, I've got the tweets.
They're fully
racist.
I mean, right here. So, has this guy always
been a piece of shit? Yeah, I think.
Or are we just? What is the deal with this? It's unbelievable.
Simply because he lost the presidency thing as well, and he got crushed in that. Where he's just like, going back to being an even bigger piece of shit.
I guess I mean maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. I don't remember him being this fucking blatantly.
No, the first week he was in office, he was given a presser and he said, "Oh, sorry for being late. I'm on CP time." CP time, for those of you who don't know, is colored people time.
Correct.
Because they don't show up anywhere according to that ideology until noon, essentially. But he's got a black wife and 3 black kids, so that's been his life for a long time. He is the whitest man on earth. Sure. And I don't think that brings up a very interesting question. How much do you have to do to gain access to this new vocabulary, right?
Yeah. So who else?
Do you have to save a black dude's life, or
yeah.
The show.
This is
an
honestly, interesting question.
We had to bleep out, and for a similar situation.
Yeah.
We don't bleep out anyone on this show.
Yep.
God, if you listen to this fucking thing.
But you could argue that this person that we're talking about is like, okay, you got him?
Yeah, put the tweets on the screen.
Here we are.
There we go.
Okay.
And read those off to the audience there, D'Anthony.
Yeah, I'll read the...
about
they're
what
right
Mr.
here.
So the first one is, and this is, just to get some context, the Hacidic community in New York they're being dicks, honestly. They're like, they won't stop congregating. They're also older, so they're all getting fucking coronavirus.
The Hacidic Jews.
Yes.
Correct.
So I get it. But tone deafness is a problem. So this is what De Blasio tweeted. My message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. You don't call out the Jews typically.
Right.
But anyways, the time for warnings has passed. I instructed the NYPD to proceed immediately to summons or even arrest those who gather in large groups. This is about stopping the disease and saving lives, period. Now, in addition to that, De Blasio personally, in person, oversaw a meeting of some of these Jewish folks getting arrested and the party broken up and stuff.
Yep.
And here's the second one. And this was the same day, by the way.
Sure.
Hours apart. He says, to the Muslim New Yorkers beginning their celebrations tonight who need halal meals. When he says celebrations, he means for Ramadan. We have them across our 400-plus grab-and-go meal sites and are bringing hundreds of thousands more to the 32 sites most frequented by our Muslim communities. So here we have a situation where a man is denigrating a community that, by and large, helped build the financial infrastructure of New York City, the greatest city in the goddamn world, and then praising and helping a group of people who knocked down 2 fucking buildings and then tried to build a mosque on the fucking ash heap.
In that same city.
On the fucking Ground Zero site.
Yep.
So get fucked with that bullshit, dude. Sorry. You got to have at least a little bit. Trump says a lot of stupid shit, but I don't think he's ever even come close to saying something this dumb.
No. And De Blasio can't stop what he's saying lately. It seems like every single day he's in a contradiction against what's going on in the world or his own governor. Because even Cuomo has been like, hey, man, just shut the fuck up.
I mean,
you're doing as a city versus a state isn't true.
The relationship between the New York governor and the New York City mayor is one of the most important political relationships in our country, to be honest. And de Blasio, I don't know how he got elected in the first. It was that AOC wave. Everybody was kind of like, I don't know what they were, honestly. I don't know what they were thinking. Stupid, I guess. Mad that Trump got elected, so they started electing crazy people.
Right.
I don't know what it was, but by the way, that thing that he personally oversaw the dispersal of was a rabbi's funeral.
And he just completely dismantled it. In
a
very Gestapo type.
I'm not sure what you guys remember about history, but the Jewish community has a complicated past with the government telling them to do stuff like this.
Not to do things and like targeting them specifically. You know,
Usually I would let it's a lot of it is a coincidence that he put those 2 tweets out on the same day, and that, but this is it's a history for him. Like, he does this shit all the time.
Right.
Like he said, CP time.
Yeah.
Once, like we mentioned, and then this. I mean, what the fuck, man? I'm calling him Mayor McFuckface now. And
you could probably call him that forever.
Yeah.
There was a point in time right after the 2016 election where people had asked Hillary to become mayor of New York City. Actually.
That would have been way better. As much as I hate her, at least she's a fucking pragmatic human being. Like, she'll probably murder a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Sure.
But she's not going to say stupid shit like this.
That's true, and I don't know what's worse, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I would rather have, as bad as Hillary Clinton is, I would rather have her than like a fucking a drone progressive person, because they just like they're contrarians. That's their entire fucking ideology is just to be contrary to everybody else. That's how I told God, who was I talking to? I don't remember. I was talking to somebody recently. I was telling them
my mom.
It could have been your mom.
Yeah.
Mexican lady.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was saying the way that the government could have gotten everyone to take this seriously is just to the COVID thing, is just to convince the left or right that it's real, and then the other side would deny that it's real.
Right.
Regardless of what the fucking facts are, but then you just infect a bunch of people on the other side. Right?
Oh, perfect.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Mayor McFuckface, get fucked of the week.
My question to you is this:
is
he up for re-election here in 2020? Is he on the ballot? I'm not. Mayors are different. Like, I know the one of Wilmington, for example, that was recently.
Might be.
Yeah. So like,
I think
he doesn't have to go up for it. It depends on what 4-year cycle.
2021.
2021. There it is. So yeah, there's your shot, New York. If you want to get rid of this fucking asshole next year, you will have a really, really good chance of that. Next up is Justin Amish running as an independent in this election. The independent from Michigan announced Tuesday that he's launched an exploratory committee to seek the Libertarian Party's 2020 nomination for president. For those who don't remember, Amish was one of the only right-leaning politicians who supported impeachment. He later switched parties from Republican to independent. He basically wants to position himself as the conservative alternative to Trump. We've actually seen this before, and it was Ross Perot, and it didn't really work out well for anybody.
Well, we've seen it in reverse, too, with Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he went from independent to Democrat because he wanted the Democratic base to be able to vote for him. This shit is... it can become problematic if enough people... Like, I always say that if you want to break up this two-party bullshit, then you have to have 4. You can't have 3. Because one is going to be too close to one of the other ones, like Perot and George Bush Sr., W. Bush. Like, if Ross Perot had never run for president in 1992, Bush would have easily won by about 4 points, it looks like.
Right.
And Bill Clinton would have never been president of the United States. That never would have happened. So, you know. Well,
then the next logical question is this, is if he runs, is this guy big enough to take away any votes from Trump? Because I don't really know him, to be honest with you. Other than the impeachment thing, I had never heard his name before in my life.
I don't think so. I don't think he'll be able to influence this election, but it wouldn't be the first time that a third-party candidate fucks something up like this. If I'm him, and I honestly, like, if I'm the Libertarian Party or the Green or whatever other party, I'm only talking about the non-2 major parties if I'm doing stuff, right? And I'm helping promote candidates from the other one too. Like, hey, pick one of us. We're reasonable. Don't pick one of these institutional assholes. But no one does that. It's all infighting. And the whole libertarian thing is, it's like, if you honestly think you're going to be able to elect politicians that are going to go in and dismantle the systems that have made them rich as fuck, sorry, bro, you're out of your mind. I honestly think that that the U.S. government needs to let me choose my words carefully here. It needs to change significantly. I don't believe in this constitutionalist nonsense. Like, there's no way that 240 years ago a bunch of fucking farmers and shit knew the best policies for 2020. That does not exist.
Right.
Like, there's some stuff, like the Declaration of Independence makes sense still. A lot of the idea that the Constitution is not a living document. Why are there fucking 27 amendments to it?
Right.
The most recent was like 30 years ago, and it was in our lifetime. So what the fuck are we talking about here? Our system of government needs to change drastically, or we're going to be fucked.
Well, especially as we start going forward with robots and AI and all that shit taking over and doing more task jobs. The rage for universal income is starting to pick up as well.
Speaking of that, did you see that Yang is suing the New York DNC?
No, is he really?
Yeah, because they canceled their primary and shit.
We talked about this on Ross Patterson Revolution earlier. The danger in this, and since you're here now today, the danger in this with canceling these primaries is, especially in a state like New York, Biden is not technically going to have the numbers to win by the time they get to the convention.
Yeah.
So
if they even have a convention, who knows what that's going to look like.
I would hope all this shit is ended by then, but we'll see.
Maybe.
The left will definitely be too afraid to have it, so it'll be some form of virtual hologram thing, which is great. I want to see Whitney Houston then open up. Because we saw her hologram, 2 weeks ago?
Why don't we only make holograms of dead people who are like musicians? Why can't we make just random motherfuckers, man?
Great question.
Like John Wayne comes out, but like we can write new code now. We can have him whip his dick out and shit.
Yep. Do you know who explored this? Was Beto. Beto was saying by the time we get to the election, when he got hot, he was like, why couldn't we have holograms of myself pop up in different cities? Giving a speech or stumping or doing a campaign.
Well, I can answer that question because no one wants to see him.
No, but remember when he was popular at that time and everybody's like, he's going to be president. That's our next president.
That was 12 people that said that, which is why he didn't get any votes.
Yeah.
But there are 12 loud motherfuckers.
The problem was this. He looked the part.
Yeah.
Once he opened his mouth and had to go on Instagram Live at the dentist, that was pretty much over for him. But he had explored doing holograms for these stumping things because
it's a good idea.
If you look at social media, right, you're able to go on Instagram Live and go out to fucking 500,000 people. I mean, they're doing it in that Versus show right now. And it's not even a show. It's just two people battling, best producers and playing their hit music. You're going out, Tory Lanez is doing it. You're going out to 500,000 people where some of these things, because Jesse and I watched the circus, some of these events for Biden already, this was before the pandemic, obviously, we're drawing like hundreds of people, and it's like, is it worth the time and money to
go
fly
all the way out there to some, bar? And I know that's, the thing to do, but there's literally like 25 people there.
There wasn't many people there, and like he's sitting down eating hamburgers and hot dogs, and nobody's bothering him.
That's because you can't bother Joe Biden.
Glad you brought that up. Are you talking about the story that just broke?
Might be
about half hour ago. We can get into that.
Yeah,
Joe Biden is Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is Joe Biden.
Is Joe Biden.
Here's the deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's the name of his podcast. Joe Biden, yes, does have a podcast, and it is called Here's the Deal.
And so does Andrew Yang, but Andrew Yang is way higher on the charts.
Yeah, the Yang Gang, dude. They're out there. So about an hour ago on C-SPAN, Nancy Pelosi was asked a question about the Tara Reid allegations, not the actress. Obviously, a woman from 1993 who is alleged.
Not the Tara Reid, obviously.
Yeah, which is probably causing a lot of problems for her.
A lot of problems, and it'll probably continue on.
She's good on problems.
She's got her own problems,
so
I'm sure.
I think she's her own problem, actually.
Fair. Fair enough.
No comment on this end.
But we love her, yeah.
No, but with that, Tara Reid, a woman from the 90s, in 1993 in particular, claimed that, allegedly, I want to say, because we don't know, that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her, specifically with two fingers, up against a wall on Capitol Hill.
Did he say which two fingers?
It was actually the pinky and the thumb, which was a weird
Oh,
way to do it.
That's a weird combo, yeah, to get in there. That's a hard one, too. You got to grip your hands at home if you're listening in your car and grip your pinky and thumb.
You just got to go right up against the I think it's clitoris. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
It's like you're playing a little violin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, this story has gained steam over the past couple weeks in particular because there was an old video that resurfaced from Larry King in which her mom called into the show in 1993 and said, my daughter was assaulted by a prominent senator. Did not say his name and said
but she worked for him at
help.
the time.
Yes.
Tara Reid did, so obviously that's who she was talking about.
Correct. And then Tara Reid did identify the voice in Larry King and say, yes, that was my mom, who was the one that called in. The Believe All Women thing has now switched sides from Kavanaugh to Biden, ironically. And Nancy Pelosi was forced to answer this about an hour ago on C-SPAN. And she said, first of all, I feel confident that he didn't do this because Joe Biden is Joe Biden. That is a tough one, especially if you look at every photo with Joe Biden with a woman.
Yeah. Because
or girl.
Joe Biden
I know
is
some.
Joe Biden.
I know some women who were in the military and some who still are that have had issues with Joe Biden.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, but they can't say shit about it.
So where at?
Because there have been NDAs. I can't say.
Okay. So that was part of my question earlier, and since you know of this happening, I said, if there is NDAs out there, can they be broken the same way that, remember when Elizabeth Warren got on stage and said, will you break these NDAs to Bloomberg? And he was like, well,
he said it was their choice. It was their choice to not disclose. So no, I can't break them.
Could the Republican Party come out and say to Joe Biden, we know about these NDAs, open them up?
I mean, you don't have to abide by an NDA that involves criminal activity.
On the female side or the male side?
Either side.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if let's say you're a woman that Joe Biden fucking sexually harassed or assaulted and he asked you to sign an NDA for, you can sign that shit all day long. But that's not binding. It's not binding if he's asking you to cover up a crime. That's illegal.
So the NDAs in question that you're talking about, was it to cover up a crime?
It doesn't matter. If there's a crime involved, you can break an NDA to report crimes and stuff like that, yes.
But the ones that you know about, was it sexual assault or was it?
I'm not going to get into it because I don't know how big the pool of people. I mean, this could have happened dozens of times with Biden or it could have only happened once.
So NDAs are more for like, marital, whatever.
NDA is
indiscretions and things you don't want out.
An NDA is the easiest legal contract to break that exists. They are the least binding of all contracts. I have no idea why people do it. Honestly.
No, why they don't break them. It's always this thing of like because they were paid off when there's money involved. Though.
But it's like if somebody, let's say you started shouting racial slurs right now, which you do a lot.
Yeah,
and you were like,
in my real life, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like,
it's terrible. Not true, but go ahead.
Well, whatever.
Look,
I was to say, hey, look, if you pay me, I won't say anything. And you say, well, you got to sign an NDA. I'm like, okay, cool. Technically, you could after the fact sue me for the money back. But you can't, I'm not going to jail for saying that shit. And honestly, what asshole is going to sue the person for breaking the NDA when they're the ones that committed the shameful act? It doesn't happen like that, typically.
I think Trump
Trump is an asshole, though.
Let's be real.
Trump would sue any of us right now just because he's bored.
I guess I'm talking about, Harvey Weinstein. Like, if you get paid off.
Yep.
What's that fucking contract that these girls would not fucking break? Like, I don't know, whatever. When it came to...
If I was Harvey Weinstein and I was setting up that contract, it would be a tranched amount of money. So they would get a certain amount of money over time, not all at once.
If you were.
It's interesting you bring that up because the one with...
Just saying, if I were to do something like this is what I would do.
If I were to murder my husband, I would probably put sardine oil on his feet.
Yeah. Carol Baskin.
Bitch.
The interesting part about this is Rose McGowan, because she was raped, signed an NDA to say that she wasn't raped and got paid off from him.
And was not able to testify or do anything like this.
Breaking it, yeah.
So I don't know,
interesting
whatever.
Because then if you broke it.
Well, I'm sorry, let me stop you right there. How do we know if she didn't break her NDA?
She wasn't allowed to testify or do anything. She just said she was silenced in every interview and that there was an NDA involved, and that
it is Rose McGowan.
But that's over now, right? Because she's talking about it and shit.
She's talking about the Me Too movement and said what a horrible person he is and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know specifically if she has come out and said I was raped by him now.
She must have.
So how
one would think,
how
right?
am I talking about it?
How do we know that that's a thing?
Yeah, no. So
that's what I'm saying.
She must have, yeah.
But the reason why I use this example with that, if you were Harvey Weinstein and she did come out and say, hey, I got raped by him, you suing would only say, oh, well, you fucking raped her and now she broke her NDA. So it's like,
Yeah.
You're admitting to rape.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the size of it, yeah.
Okay. That's fascinating.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's what I find the most fascinating about this whole situation is to see which side of things all of these politicians and celebrities fall on.
Yep.
Like there have been a number of politicians who have, separated themselves from Biden because they were like, hey, we should listen to this woman. But a lot have not, including Pelosi, apparently. Alyssa Milano, obviously, she's a crazy piece of shit, but she's like, oh, I'd still vote for him. Fuck yeah.
She said that, but she also released a statement last night on her Twitter saying, I do believe all women.
But she's not going to push it in the way that she did with Blasey Ford. So,
no.
She'll say, she said, I see you and I hear you. But that's all we're going to hear from her, by the way. But with Blasey Ford, she was sitting front row. She was fucking hammering, tweeting, making sure things were coming out and people were. So,
well, Sarah Silverman called out Kirsten Gillibrand, lit her ass up for supporting Biden through this. So it's just interesting to see which direction,
Well, she's a Bernie guy.
She is, yeah, but that's
she's a Bernie guy. Well, here's why I say this. The interesting part on that side is they're still divided between Bernie and Biden, and they're still pissed off that the DNC chose Biden and forced out every other candidate so Biden would win. Otherwise, I still think Bernie would have steamrolled this thing and won if Klobuchar and Buttigieg and all those guys didn't get out, especially with the way the pandemic fell during these primaries and shit. If you would have cut it off now, it would have been an absolute 100% guaranteed brokered convention. Nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
Had those guys stayed in, and they didn't.
Well, the last one I'll mention is Stacey Abrams. Do you know who that is?
Yes, she is the failed person who ran for governor of this great state of Georgia.
Yeah, and she's on the short list for vice president right now. Which, by the way, she has no political track record. Maybe this is sexist or whatever the fuck, but she looks like a lunch lady or some shit to me, or some woman that I would see in a tax office.
Right.
She doesn't. Whatever you want to believe about America and how great we are, the presidential election is a goddamn popularity contest, and you have to look like somebody that other people want to believe in or that they want to be or whatever the fuck. It's like any other celebrity position. You know what I mean? And she doesn't, dude, at all.
That's why they're pushing Kamala Harris on that side.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is a not nice looking woman, but she is a presentable looking. She looks very professional. Yes. She's got a confident air about her. This woman just seems like she was a fucking not even a full-time elementary school teacher, but a fucking what do you call it?
Sub?
Yeah, substitute teacher. She looks like a substitute teacher.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm against teachers. I've said it before. Stop trying.
Particular election, Biden's going to need all the help he can get.
Yeah, he needs a fucking legit. By the way, the reason I brought her up is because she's like, I believe Joe Biden. She was on Don Lemon show last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's like,
she's vying.
She's done now. She shouldn't have said. She should not have even done the interview. Because now, now if they everything that she brought to the table, which is the trust of women in America.
Gone.
Yeah.
So she just got herself kicked out of the VP nomination. She doesn't even know it. I'm sure.
The rumor is it is down to 4 on that side. It is the governor of Michigan, Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris, and Elizabeth Warren. With that statement,
yeah, she's out.
She's out, and I think she's out for other reasons as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
she wasn't
didn't even win.
Candidate.
She didn't win the governor of Georgia. She's not.
I've actually got a really good idea. I think Obama should go trans. Then he could fulfill. He can.
I knew it wasn't going to be an actual good idea. Just as soon as you said it, but go ahead.
This is a good idea.
Okay.
Obama. Trans Obama is your idea for VP.
Hear me Obama. Hear him out. Hear him out.
That brings the Bernie crowd back in.
Sure.
The progressives they're back in.
Blam.
Trobama is what we've
Tranny Obama.
come to. Trobama.
Why not? Can you
Barack
imagine?
Trobama.
You better work.
Yeah, I mean,
you better work.
the only promises Biden has made so far is it's going to be a woman.
Yes.
And I want to see.
He's stuck to that.
I
too.
want to
Yes.
see the people that are center left argue that new tranny Barack is not a woman. I want to see that infighting happen.
Sure.
Yeah, because
know.
that's how he identifies. So
He doesn't
You know what
even
I
have
mean?
to get any surgery or anything, or wear a wig.
No.
He could just show up.
He literally
dressed
could-
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Woman now.
Yep.
He's got-
Identify
he's-
as a
That's how I
woman.
identify.
He's got one of those fucking
Yes.
like party name tags on it. And it just says "woman" on it.
Well, it says woman now.
Woman now, yeah.
Or in parentheses now. Yeah. So tranny Obama. That's the only chance that Biden's got to win this election. I think.
Oh,
Tranny
Trobama is born.
Obama.
I want to mark your calendars, kids. April 30th is when transvestite Obama
No,
was born.
transvestite is a typically straight man that dresses in women's clothing.
Yep.
All right, let's get this all straight.
Yeah. no,
Please,
straight
I
out
would love
first.
to.
A transsexual is someone who goes from one gender to another.
Okay.
Right. Got it.
Trobama. April 30th was the 2020 is the birth of Trobama.
We're gonna need to get a T-shirt made.
Trobama.
Biden
Is it
Trobama 2020.
Trobama?
I mean,
You can't
it's
say
trash.
tranny Obama.
You gotta
gotta
combine
be,
it.
yeah.
You gotta combine it. You know,
Tranny
it's like
Obama.
J-Lo. With that, if you're a transsexual out
That
there
really got out
looking
there.
for a place to sleep,
It's got legs.
lay down in a ghost bed. I hope not. From ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. 25% off mattresses, pillows, sheets, adjustable bases. You name it, they got it. That 36-month pay-as-you-go program is still rocking these streets right now. They're going to do it all the way through the end of the pandemic. So if you're locked in until May 31st, which a couple states are, they're going to be doing this so that way you can quarantine in comfort. And all the deals are applicable with the 25% off, including the no interest, 36 months, all of that combined you can do. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today and hop on these deals. Shout out to them for doing that, by the way.
Yeah,
It was
they're
really
great.
cool of those guys. I don't know how much they're losing for that, but it's a big chunk.
Yeah. So speaking of great guys, CNN published a map of where in the country unemployment benefits are more than the pay you would have gotten from a job there.
Mm-hmm. Where at?
I mean, they published the map.
Yeah.
Because that's their. They,
Well, just out of curiosity, what states were they?
there's a lot of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hold on. So they have them ranked from 85 to 100% of your normal pay.
Okay.
100 to 115, 115 to 130.
Okay.
So the highest tier, let's see, I have to remember these states: Maine, Vermont, the Dakotas, Montana. Oh no, South Dakota and Nebraska, not North Dakota.
That makes sense to me.
Idaho, whatever that one is. Iowa. Is that a state?
Nope.
No, it's not.
No.
Still not a state.
New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. And then the vast majority of them are 100 to 115, though. Or they're in those top two brackets. So most people are making more than they normally would have made.
When this whole thing started, what I said to you was there's a lot of people that have never been on unemployment before.
Mm-hmm.
And now that they have these checks and they look at these checks, they're probably saying to themselves, holy shit, why am I going to work to make the same money?
So I'm glad that they're getting the money, but this is a slippery.
It's a slippery slope because you're like, shit, I don't want to work anymore if I'm just going to get on unemployment. And you're going to be real slow to go back and look for
I
a
don't
job.
see why we need to work anymore.
Yeah.
No,
No. The government will just pay you.
the government just pays for everybody, so it's
Right?
fine, right?
All this money is just made up bullshit anyways.
Yeah, it's just a green bill, brother.
It's
Not even. It's just like a number that they give
yeah,
you.
now it's just a number in space.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Honestly, this is all dumb to me. Like if we
They
we
literally
need
just write a number in your bank account.
yeah, all we need is to get the rest of the world, the other 192 countries, to buy into that.
Sure.
Then we'll be fine.
Then we'd be good.
No more money we'll just do what we want.
Why not?
We'll just barter fucking shoes for water.
Yeah, I'll give you a shoe for some water.
Then you have to get real clever with
Burning Man style.
how you develop as a human being. Like, what's my intrinsic value to this country? Not how can I fucking trick people. Not how can I reach into somebody else's pocket and take a couple of bucks and do that 1,000 times. But what intrinsic value do I as a human being have, or us as a group in general?
Well, we're fucked.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, like, not us specifically.
Yeah, for sure not.
Because we're useless.
Like, we're definitely not talking about us.
No.
But yeah, I hear you.
Speaking of useless, why does the Southern Poverty Law Center have a $162 million stash in offshore accounts?
Why do you think, Dan?
Why do you think?
Why do you think? People, look, when you get around budgets like this for all of this shit.
And tax-free stuff?
Yeah, dude, eventually people figure out a way to steal. And
if it's a 501c3, technically speaking, according to the federal government, I think you only have to spend about 2% of your revenue on the actual charity.
Yep. And look, charities a big one they hide it in. Churches is a big one they hide it in. We watched that Bad Education movie with super straight Hugh Jackman on HBO that just popped up over the
role
weekend.
he was born to play.
Yeah, exactly. And it was about the school system taking money.
Yes.
And they had bilked like $8 million over the years, just little by little. And I think it happens at all levels, to be honest with you.
Well, it turns out hospitals are doing that now, too. I don't know if you saw that story, but apparently part of the fucking federal bailout was that for every patient you have in your particular hospital or your administrative view, which is like some administrators have multiple hospitals under them, you get like a 80% fucking increase in pay, in insurance premiums.
Right.
So what were they doing?
For classifying somebody with COVID.
Yeah.
So every COVID death they have, plus 80% in the money you get. You don't think there's fucking people out there fucking with reporting?
100%.
That's the thing. And so when you look at these numbers, what are the real numbers and when will you get those real answers? And I read an article this morning that said it could be years before you get the real number of the people who actually died from COVID and who didn't, because you stand to benefit too much.
Right, but then they'll also, I'm sure, in this instance, like attribute a death to COVID because what? They didn't have the ventilator. Because, do you know what I mean? Where it's like they'll say it's COVID. Even though
so
it's
hospitals are ordering people, and this is not fucking off some weird ass website or anything. This is a fact.
Right.
Hospitals are ordering their people to classify anybody that has COVID as a COVID-related death, no matter what happened. Right? We don't do that with anything else. The flu, for example. The flu doesn't really... Influenza kills people, but it usually kills people through a pneumonia or some shit like that.
Right, so they classify it as something like that.
It's like flu-related pneumonia.
Right.
But not just COVID.
Yes. And so in the state of New York in particular, there was a huge number increase of about 10,000 that went up, and they were attributing it to COVID.
Yeah.
But they also don't have the time to check and all that other stuff, which is why that other article was just like, look, it's going to take years to sort this out. And we're not going to have a real number for a very long time. So the number you're seeing now could be higher, it could be less. Like chances are it's probably less because you're getting more money as a hospital if it is COVID related right now. And look, the healthcare system has been fucked forever at this point.
It's a good thing I'm not a news believer.
Exactly. Jesse is an anti-news believer, which is great. But you take our city with Wilmington. They're currently selling the hospital here. There's one gigantic hospital in this town. It is going for, I believe, $1 billion.
Who are they selling to, like Nike or something?
Close. Who is it? Noventa or I believe?
Whatever, one of those like...
How could that go wrong, though? A big corporate hospital, brother?
No, I know. When we had like literally the best hospital in the
It was a great
state.
hospital.
Because Big Pharma worked out great.
There.
Yeah.
We've had
so
2 kids there.
it is something like that, like Valenta or something.
We've not had anything there.
Yeah.
She has had 2 children there.
She was the vessel for my.
You weren't even.
You didn't even show up,
dude.
I was yeah.
You were sleeping.
I woke up.
He was eating Fritos in the parking lot and talking to some dude with lung cancer or something.
Yeah.
That was smoking.
I was probably out saving the world. No big deal.
Why is there always a dude with lung cancer smoking in the parking lot of a hospital?
Because with the dragging the thing.
Yeah, dragging the thing because it's the end, and they're like, "Fuck this! I want to die.
Dude, that's how
I want to
be.
die in happiness."
Man, I would be so high.
Yeah.
Give me every drug you can find.
That's how my grandpa was. He was like, give me a cigarette and wine right now. So
and
I
you
had
guys
to, like,
got him out of the hospital, right?
We got him out of the hospital because I was trying to bring it in because he was like, that's what he wanted. And they were like, no, bro, you can't fucking give him that. And I'm like, all right, well, we're just going to take him home so he can fucking drink vodka and smoke cigarettes on the last couple days that he's alive because fuck this.
Right.
Yeah. I always say that I would commit a bunch of crimes probably. But now, the older I get, I just think I want to do weird stuff.
Weird stuff
that
and
fucks
just
with
like
people's heads.
Yeah.
Like, God, there's this comedian. I can't remember his name. He's so funny. He said, I think I mentioned this on the show before, but he said, if I'm going to commit suicide, I'm going to go out with a question mark, not an exclamation point.
Yeah.
So he's going to put like a glass of water on the ground and jump off a building.
Yeah.
Like, people would think that he was trying to was he trying to jump into that glass of water?
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that I like. What are we talking about?
But with us in the hospitals, the hospital situation, when they sell this hospital, the reason why they want to is so they can take that money and build other shit. You know, they were like, oh, we're going to build a school with it on that river road or wherever the fuck that is. What's like River Lights? Because there's a new community there and all that other shit. And it's like, great. Where is that money really going and where is that budget really going? And is it going to your actual community versus they're probably going to hide shit in some fucking weird offshore account, same as the Southern Poverty Law Center and everything else, man. Somebody's going to get their fucking pockets stuffed with something, and we'll probably never know. And this probably goes on all the time. How did they get popped is the question, Dan.
I don't know. I didn't see how it got reported, but it's a really weird situation. Like, why would they be keeping that amount of money offshore, and how is it even legal? If you're a registered 501c3, you have to report all of your earnings and all of your expenditures to the federal government. So how are they hiding $160 million offshore? How is it legal? I don't understand any of this shit.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about it is that, according to those expenditure reports, their level of contribution is actually going down. Like, people are giving them less money, and somehow they have more money than they've ever had.
Yeah.
That sounds like they're washing money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, who the fuck knows what's going on?
No.
I've
We'll have
never
to
heard
wait.
of the Southern Poverty, for what it's worth, and I've grown up in the South.
SPLC, you ever heard of
my
that?
adult life. No.
How can you be from Georgia, where I believe it was created, and not know what it is?
I have not heard of it. I have not heard of it.
Could've
Maybe
been
because,
Alabama.
look, I'm white, and I didn't, if it's equal justice and equal opportunity, that did not involve me, obviously. So
No,
Sure.
it's
or my white family. But
the other funny thing about this is within the last year, the SPLC's co-founder, president, and finance director have all been fired for allowing a culture of sexual harassment and racial discrimination. The SPLC's mission statement, by the way, they just like sue people for doing racist shit.
Right.
For the most part, they track hate groups across the country
yeah.
and stupid shit like that. Like, they're like the leading edge in the offended Olympics in a lot of ways. Like, it started out as a pretty good organization back in the day, back in the 50s when it was relevant.
Right.
Sure.
And now it's just like, we've got to go find things to be offended by. It's just like the news, right?
Yeah,
like
because you can't keep your organization running if you're not suing people and working.
Yep.
I understand it. Maybe they should all have a nice fucking can of killcliffcbd.com and just chill out.
Chill out.
25 milligrams in every single can. Go to killcliffcbd.com today. Get on it. Another amazing company that's got a hell of a deal. 30% off every single case with the promo code Drinkin Bros at Killcliff. It's a fucking monster savings there as well. And free shipping.
How many cans did we get your dad for his?
We got him 2 cases, and I used my own promo code. I'm sorry, by the way, to Killcliff that I used my own promo code on 2 cases. But,
Hey.
it's there. I used promo code Drinkin Bros. Shout out to Jerry Lowry. Happy birthday, bud. I love you. And you got 2 cases. He's with you, dude. He goes the Orange Kush. That's what he wanted.
It's because he's a man. That's what men drink.
I'm the grape, dude.
You're
I love
a
the grape
tiny
one.
little twink. You're a fucking or a teenage. Your personality reminds me most of like a 13, 14-year-old girl.
Oh, so
Honestly.
true.
How did we go from twink to 13 or 14-year-old girl?
Samesies.
They
One and the same.
They're looking in
Yeah.
the mirror all the time. They're really concerned about what's going on around them.
They can't
vis-a-vis.
really do anything.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the other. Well, wait, I don't know if twinks can't do anything.
Twinks can do a lot of things.
That's just a young hairless gay man. I don't know why you're getting.
Yeah.
I didn't say twink. I was more like I was more in the teenage.
A lawsuit coming from
girl.
the
The
SPLC.
teenage girl.
We're now considered a hate group by the SPLC.
Jeez, Jesse.
Thanks a lot, Jesse.
You're going to get us thrown off the air.
Stealing chips.
Take some Killcliff from KillcliffCBD.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros. 30% off and free shipping. No THC in this. You will not piss hot if anybody's doing drug tests out there whatsoever. And Killcliff is the only name you can really trust in this arena. So we've vetted them, and it is real. Next up, Harrison Ford is under investigation for piloting errors again. I want to stress again.
Yeah, it's the second time.
Again.
Gosh, he really
What was it,
cannot-
2015? He crashed a plane or some shit?
We talked
God.
about it on
Or
like one of our
2011.
first shows.
One of
didn't
our
we?
very first shows was
like-
about
Oh, it's 2015 in LA, yeah.
Harrison Ford.
killed my dad because he landed in like a fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's just
My buddy's dad did that, though. And I think it was in D.C. or New York. I don't remember which one. But he crashed a plane into a fucking house once.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it wasn't. Any plane crash gets investigated by the FAA no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal that Harrison Ford is getting investigated because that's the standard procedure, but
It's a big deal that he just
he's
keeps fucking
78
up.
years old.
Yeah, a rep for the actor who is an avid flyer. Obviously, fuck Harrison Ford.
Oh,
dude,
that's
Jesus.
bad writing. A rep for the actor who's an avid flyer. Who, the actor or the rep?
The
Terrible writing.
terrible writing.
Who
on that
would
one.
do that?
I stole that from Fox News. Terrible
welcome.
writing, Fox
Oh,
News.
okay.
Fox News.
Learn some grammar, bitches. Come on.
He was involved in a runway incursion at the Hawthorne Airport in Southern California on April 24th. According to the airport audio obtained by TMZ, Harrison Ford failed to follow a tower operator's direction to hold short on the runway due to traffic as he operated the aircraft from the runway to the taxiway.
Yeah.
Why would you not? Like, what would be his reasoning to not listen?
I don't know if he didn't hear the guy. Maybe the guy
Okay.
had a thick accent.
Oh.
Where did this happen?
Okay.
In Southern California.
Hawthorne Airport in Southern California. What do you think the accent was?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm asking you questions.
I can tell you
Look,
exactly what happened. Harrison Ford
He probably
smokes
fell asleep
more
with the-
weed than you will ever smoke in your entire life. That guy smokes
Constant.
morning, day, night, like all of it. No
mean,
one is
that's-
higher than Harrison Ford.
He smokes more than me.
Yes. Every
Really?
I
single
don't
day
know,
he
but
smokes weed
yeah,
all day long.
a lot.
All day long.
But real, like flour, like the real deal.
Oh,
Yes.
that's too much work. I'm not doing all
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Serious.
But he's old school, right?
Yeah.
So he smokes weed and then just flies around all day. I would say it's more than two, man, because he crashed his fucking plane. There was another one where he ignored somebody else and crossed
Yeah, and like
the
clipped
runway.
a wing or something.
Yeah, like
yeah.
this has been going on for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a while. He's high as shit, and he's
Or
going to
something
die
where it was like a
in an airplane.
commercial plane, and they were like almost crashed with
Yes.
fucking Harrison Ford, and they were like,
It went right by it,
damn
and they were
dude."
like, "That's fucking Harrison."
Well, you know
Ford,
what? Think
dude."
about it this way: if Harrison Ford at this point in his life is worried about his legacy, I would imagine, right? That's what most
Ooh,
people
and
who are in
that's
the
how you wanna
entertainment
go
industry, yeah.
down.
Like if Harrison Ford dies of butthole cancer tomorrow, people are gonna
not
like,
not good.
oh,
Yeah.
it's sad. They'll be sad for like 2 weeks.
Right. If he
af-
dies in a plane crash, that'd be sweet.
If he dies in a
was
plane
trying to go
crash,
out like that too, huh?
yeah.
if he
was
dies in a plane
crashing
crash,
and-
people will remember him.
Yeah.
Swayze was as well. So Swayze was drunk as shit, smoking in the plane. Swayze was a chain smoker.
Yep.
I mean, he did not ever have a second with a cigarette in his mouth unless he was shooting a movie. One of the Drinkin Bros said that their dad had helped them get Swayze out of the plane and get him down so that he wouldn't get a
Like a
FUI, flying under the influence. Whatever. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing, but whatever it was, they pulled him out of that fucker and got him to safety because it was Swayze. But they didn't want him to get popped for what
I
he
would
did.
have fucking saved Swayze, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for Harrison Ford, just a simple
Aided
drug
and
test
abetted.
would be.
Sure.
I mean, how much weed is in that guy's system?
Yeah, but you can't do. I mean, a drug
can't?
test isn't going to tell
Right.
you how recently
Yeah.
he smoked even. So the biggest problem for me in all this is I don't know whether to make a Star Wars joke or an Air Force One joke. You know what I mean?
What does your heart tell you?
Star Wars probably.
Okay.
I mean, May the 4th is coming up. I feel like for May the 4th, the FAA should release the audio and then let us listen to it and then dub Chewbacca noises over the audio. Like, yeah, I couldn't
It'll
hear
just be
shit.
like,
'Cause
yeah.
Chewbacca. That'd be. What if he gets taken to court and he shows up with a dude in a Chewbacca costume?
would do,
Like,
too.
yeah, this piece of shit wouldn't shut the fuck up.
It would be an all-time move where
Yeah.
you were just like,
And then what are they gonna do? He's 78 years old. What the fuck are they gonna do?
And he shows up with Chewbacca to court
in the
he's
Han
like,
Solo outfit.
Yeah. Case dismissed.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything
And
about
then
that.
Adam Driver sitting in the back, just like mean mugging people and shit. How fucking funny would that be? Let's get that going. We know people in government. Come on.
Yeah, you put the hologram Carrie Fisher up as a witness. Have put her in there.
That's a sad one. See, she died uneventfully. No one gave a fuck. People
That's true.
were sad for like 2 weeks,
Yep.
like the normal grieving process,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nothing. Kobe is still felt.
Oh yeah. Even when you said it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
God damn,
That's
helicopter
true.
crash. Man.
Yep.
Shit.
That's true.
Yeah, plane crash for Harrison Ford, but it's got to
God,
be
his dream, he has
mega.
Yeah.
It's got to be a mega crash.
I think let's
Fireball.
pick another aging male celebrity that needs, or maybe Betty White. Maybe they can
Be
fly
White?
into each other in a plane crash.
Yeah, because the joke is always when someone that old dies, you're like, oh, how did they die? You're like, dude, natural like it's never anything
kite
like
surfing. It's
yeah,
never
exactly.
kite surfing. Something fun.
Flipped his
it's
vet.
rarely kite surfing.
Rarely, every once in a while, but that would be great if you were that old and you're like bungee jumping, like
Why
or
not?
something, you know?
Got his dick sucked off.
Yeah.
Completely off. Bled to death right there.
Blood to death, blood out.
I mean, that'd be a pretty baller way to die.
That'd be awesome. If you are
Super
getting dick
baller.
sucks, hopefully you're using manscaped.com and you're keeping everything well groomed down there.
I'm wearing
Beautiful
Manscaped
segment.
boxer briefs right now.
So with this kit, dude,
Super comfortable.
Go to their side real quick, Jamie. Go to there too. There you go. I'm gonna pull up the kit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is, and
It's
like
got
funny
it's got the
names and
shaver.
stuff, too.
Yeah, because this fucking kit is awesome. I mean, you can see it says your balls will thank you, and that's in all gold right there.
That's not real gold, by the way. I tried to scrape it off and sell
sell it?
it at
It's
the
not real
pawn
gold.
shop. They
Okay.
told me to get fucked.
Well,
So
we'll tell people in the audience that it is not real gold.
Yeah.
Boom, you get a T-shirt, and here are the boxers, dude. These are like fucking Sean Johns. I
Yeah.
was really,
Yeah, they're really nice,
surprised. They're
Yeah,
nice as
Dan's wearing
fuck.
them. Go ahead and show.
Yeah,
I don't know why they sent mediums.
I don't know. I'm not we're large men.
I mean, you should try them on at least.
Yeah, I'll give them a gozies. For sure.
If
I'll
you
take
run out of
them.
room in there, just poke your dick and balls out the front.
This is ball deodorant, and I've used it all week. It smells fucking amazing, by the way. I'm a gigantic fan of that. So it prevents chafing after you shave your balls.
yeah.
It's like aftershave for your nuts at manscaped.com.
This is
This is all real, and this is the kit. So
The
here's the
dop
fucking.
kit,
They
yeah.
give you a dop kit, a leather dop kit, to put all this shit in.
yeah.
It's a kind of
This
great
is
company,
we can make
by the way.
the
It's
sun
an awesome company.
like the Sunday brooch, but with this.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
that's what people are saying. Now.
This is the Lawnmower 3.0.
It's
this is
the
what I
best.
use to shoot. I shorned my pubes and testicles with it.
Dick and balls.
It's amazing. And then
It's the best trimmer of any kind that I've ever used.
cologne,
Oh, nice.
refined cologne. That's what you get in this kit, by the way. So if you're ever
Wait,
questioning
isn't there
on the
some
show,
foot stuff in there too?
Yeah, they got everything.
Yeah,
Cologne, all
like-
this shit. The shed is the travel bag. So if you just get a box of this, you are fucking set, bro. And you can plug it in. It's the lawnmower kit is it's got a rechargeable thing that you just plug into
It's
the wall.
sleek on the counter. It looks very nice.
Very nice. Like this is the most high end shit you can get, and it's pretty fucking cheap. Go to manscaped.com. That's manscaped. Manscaped.com. Use the promo code Drinkin Bros for 15% off. You order that fucking thing and you're good to go, dude. Forever. Next up, canines are being trained to sniff out
Oh
coronavirus.
boy, here we go.
Ooh.
How could this go wrong, Dan?
Here we
How
go.
could this go wrong? They reported a case of a dog getting last
Yeah,
week.
dogs can get it, so I don't know how. This is like at University of Pennsylvania. It seems like they just had some
Extra time.
they had some research project funding
Mm-hmm.
to deal with coronavirus in some way. They're like, hey, you know what? What if we got some dogs, man, and let them smell it out? Where is this going? We're just gonna have dogs patrolling around America looking for people with viruses and shit.
I don't know, man.
I know.
Are you
Where
fucking
does
kidding
this
me?
happen? Is it like before you go into like a mall or like something like this?
Yeah, exactly. Where do they put these
Where are they
things?
going to do
Are they
this?
just going
Or
to be
is it just
cruising
outside my
around?
house?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is
The
like,
they're just going to give the dogs keys to all that, like how
Yeah.
Santa's got keys to
Yeah.
everybody's
Sure,
house, right?
sure.
Santa Claus. That's how he
Same
gets in.
as
That whole
Santa.
thing about the roof, that's government propaganda. They were just trying to sell more chimneys, but you don't need that shit. Santa's got a key to your fucking house.
Yeah, he's got a key to your house.
So,
yeah, because like I don't even have a chimney. Like, ugh.
Yeah. How am I getting presents? Where'd they come from? That's the answer. You had a key to your house this whole time.
So anyways.
The dogs are going to have keys to your house.
Dogs are going to have keys to your house.
It's a laser key.
Get
it's
used
easy.
to it.
Yeah.
Dogs will be able to open the doors to your houses.
Are they grooming us for a microchip? Like, so that they go like, would you rather have dogs sniffing you all the time or just a microchip in you?
Kind of close. So the other element to this that I read about was they're testing this thermal. Is it? It's not a radar, Dan. What is it? It's a drone that thermally can check bodies
Thermal
to see
vision.
if there's COVID
It's just
inside
a thermal.
your body.
It's just a thermal camera.
But they said some form of ray. I don't know. What
There's I don't know about the ray part, but there's a story coming up about this in our list here.
Yeah, so that's the dogs have been on there. This has been on there. Truthfully, about 12 hours ago, Gilead and that Resmavadar or whatever it's called is doing well in test trials, and they were like, look, that is slowing down the process of this, and they think they'll have that, according to Billy Bush, if you listen to Extra.
Billy Bush. Okay.
He said that it might be ready to go by September, which is extremely fast, and I would highly doubt that. But
that's when they were wanting the vaccine.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah.
And they're saying that this could possibly be it. I think right now everybody's in this guessing stage of all of this stupid shit. And once there's a vaccine for it, you'll look back at this and be like, remember when we wanted dogs to go and sniff out the COVID virus?
I don't know. They said that it's a non-invasive, four-legged method to screen people in airports, businesses, or hospitals. How is that non-invasive?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel non-invaded when you're going through TSA lines?
And dogs are sniffing you, and the guy's standing there just letting them sniff you. You're like this
no.
is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
I feel very invaded by that.
And like I always have drugs on me, so it's like I instantly feel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And like
that's what it's for, right? Or guns.
And I also want to. What?
Bombs.
Can dogs smell guns?
They can smell cordite, gunpowder.
Yeah. Or are they sniffing out
And
bombs, or do they want my drugs? I don't know.
They don't want your drugs.
Yeah,
anymore,
right.
No, there's no way.
But that's the first thing that you feel.
Yeah.
They live in Vegas.
It
They can
ruins my time.
get all the drugs they want.
I remember that. So it happened to me in the Atlanta airport where they brought dogs to come and smell us all when we were about to go through security. And I remember thinking how bad I felt for the dog. I was like, why? Why are we doing this? The X-ray machine's not enough?
Yeah, and I want to pet the dog too, which is a problem.
And
for
they
me.
tell you not to.
Yeah,
so
like
there's somebody with them that says, "Do not pet the fucking dog."
I feel like there should be at least one more amendment to the Constitution that says no one can tell me I can't pet a dog. Like, why would you even say that to me? It's fucked up.
Why would you
piece of
even
shit.
say that to me?
Next up, an AI expert claims parenting robots will feed, teach, and exercise 1 in 3 kids by 2050. Dr. Michelle Tempest says the droids will feed, exercise, and teach the kids. And now the tables have turned. We kind of knew this was happening. Jesse and I.
It's already happening.
Yeah, it's already happening. Jesse and I have a kindergartner who has to go
love
hop on
this.
and have Zoom classes. 3 times a week?
Yeah.
He's in kindergarten.
I love this, by the way. Dr. Michelle Tempest says that the droids will feed, exercise, and teach the kids.
Yeah.
What does that mean, exercise them? Like, is it going to be let's get physical music video with a robot?
Yeah.
That's what's going to be.
'Cause that's-
dead serious, man.
Look,
Does that not fucking make you happy to even think about that happening?
No, not
like,
one single
like
second of that.
Rosie robot from fucking the Jetsons standing up at the front of the room doing exercises, and your kids are fucking doing the same thing. That would be goddamn hilarious.
It'd be funny for about 10 seconds. I do not like the Zoom classes for our kids now.
No, those are kind of weird.
It's just like, it's too creepy to me.
right, but if there was, hear me out. If there was, so right now he's like mindlessly watching stuff on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it was kind of like a robot like person that could like play with.
What's the difference?
Boy,
Here's my
James.
question.
Why even have a child, you know?
Exactly.
That's what I keep asking myself, bro.
But you can like take all the good things about having a child. For example, tax breaks.
Sure.
And having someone to take care of you when you're old.
Yep.
And get rid of all the shitty parts of having a kid, like having to deal with them. See them.
Yeah.
See them, exercise them.
Yeah.
Exercising your kids is really
That's the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, it was on here.
I love this though. I mean, honestly, how is this? I've got two comments. One serious and one is not so serious. I'll start with the serious one so we can skip past that and then go on a tangent about the non-serious one. So the serious part is, how is it different to have a robot doing that shit than it is to hand your kid an iPad and casually ignore them all day? That's the same thing to me.
Exactly. That's what I'm kind of saying.
Yeah.
So if that, if people are doing that anyways, but then it's something that can like exercise them.
Yeah. The second part is by 2050, we'll also probably be able to grow these kids in labs. So
CRISPR babies, yeah.
We all get vasectomies. All dudes just get vasectomies.
V-sex.
And they can still pull your DNA out of your fucking body. They don't even need your cum for it for the most part. They just get your DNA from anywhere at this point.
Right.
But by then, it'll be even more efficient. You can do CRISPR babies. You don't have to fucking get pregnant.
Dream.
You know, that bullshit.
Bullshit.
And the baby's born in a lab or whatever. You get to hang out with it a little bit, and then it goes straight to the robot. You don't see it again until it knows what the fuck is going on in life.
Oh my God, what a dream. I mean,
fuck that.
Because with the other one that we had, because we have one.
And you could choose, too. If you had a quiet one like the first one that's a good kid.
It's a good kid.
You could hang on to him through the whole thing.
Sure. Oh, with that other one, I would totally do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the first one.
Jesse hasn't slept in a year.
In a year and 8 months. And it's affecting my cool, fun-loving personality, you know? So, yeah, for sure I would do that. No question. Like, how soon is this getting to market?
2050 is when they said.
Yeah.
But it,
well
no.
that, Jesse.
But by 2050, it says one in 3 kids will be raised by robots, and by 2050.
Absolutely.
By the way,
I actually think that might be sooner.
All jokes aside, I think this is probably true.
It's totally true.
And
it's
I'm glad
like
that I will
true.
no longer be a member of this society by then.
No, I love this stuff.
I don't want to get involved in any of this shit.
I want to be able to put like have a screen for the face of the robot, so I can be in my office working and the kid is in the other room and he's being a dick, and I put like a fucking devil face on it or something to scare him. Like, shut the fuck up, kid.
Oh no.
Right? Use it to intimidate your children.
Sure,
and then obviously these
sure.
AI nannies, these robot nannies are going to turn into a fucking weapon at some point.
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
And dude, does society even make it 100 years?
I say 120, something like that.
Okay.
I just want to
before the robots take over, right?
Yeah, I mean when it happens, it's gonna happen fast.
Yes.
Because robots, move quickly.
Yes.
Sure.
Very quickly.
Sure.
So yeah, 120 years
kids.
tops.
But literally, you could just put like a robot body on the tablet that he's watching right now.
Yeah.
So soup's easy. I mean,
And if you can put expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros on that robot's tablets, you're good to go. It'll protect hackers. It'll protect you against hackers trying to hack into your robot and control your robot for you.
I mean, if you've got a robot looking after your kids, you're going to want to have ExpressVPN installed on the robot, probably.
Yes.
Because it's going to be networked.
It is.
Have to be,
it's all going to be networked. You need a VPN in life, kids. You need one now. Get expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros today. Put it on your laptop, desktop, iPhone, and iPad. It'll prevent hackers from breaking into your shit. On the flip side of that, it'll also beat all the firewalls at work, so you can watch porn, Canadian Netflix, you name it, and we're out of content, so we're probably switching over to the Canadian Netflix tonight, probably.
Yeah, I think so. That or the Nigerian one. I got a message about
is it just
sending
those
some
guys
kind of money to
dancing at the funeral?
Oh, that's the best meme going
what?
around right now. The Nigerian guys dancing in the funeral with the casket.
That's every Netflix show.
That'd be the best.
All the Netflix Nigeria shows,
end
they're
like
in
that?
all of them. No, they're in all of them. It's just those 6 guys.
Well, I don't know. I just got an email about sending them a bunch of money to do it. So.
Yeah, Prince.
Yeah. They just need some
to
startup.
watch it.
Some startup money.
That's all they need, and then they'll send you the rest of that $19 million.
Yeah.
Well, it just doesn't translate or something. They need to
Of course.
They need my check, but they have a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Shit, this reminds me of a good story.
Go to
Anyways.
expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros today. $7 a month. If you sign up for a year, you get 3 months for free at expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros. What were you going to say?
I love ExpressVPN, by the way.
Same. One of my faves.
It's on all my shit. So I just remembered this. I don't know why I forgot for so long, but I was staying with my mom for a little bit right before I went into the Army. And one day the Secret Service showed up. And I'm like,
Fun.
that's weird. I don't know why they would show up. So apparently this dude somewhere, I think it was in Africa, was sending her computer chips, like fucking processors.
Uh-huh.
Like I think he was using stolen credit card information.
In the mail?
Yes. So I think he was using stolen credit card information to buy them and have them shipped to her, and then he wanted her to ship, but she's not very worldly.
Right.
That's a nice way of saying stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, dumb. So
Hey,
she didn't realize anything about what's going on in this, and the Secret Service showed up, and they're like, "Hey, is your name this?" And I'm like, "No, man," because they had some other dude's name. I think it was the fake name that guy was using, maybe, or some shit. I don't remember that part. But they were like, "Whoa, you sure it's not your name?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know what my fucking name is, guy."
are you
Like
sure
I got a
not
lot of
your name?
attitude with him because there's no way the Secret Service is there for me.
Yeah.
Like I know the crimes I've committed, and it's not anything that falls
Yeah.
under their jurisdiction. Okay. So I'm like, no, and they're like, then they explained to me what had been happening. I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me? I was like, my mom wasn't there at the time. She got back. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, man. Come on.
What'd she say?
I don't know.
What
She
was the
said
end result
it
of it?
sounded like a
She didn't get in
nice
any trouble, but
boy.
yeah. People like that get scammed all the time.
Yeah. Look, man.
Why is it always Nigeria?
I didn't say
a
it was
very friendly
Nigeria. It
country.
may have been.
It
Very
was.
friendly country. Next up, airlines seek U.S. okay to suspend flights to 25 U.S. airports. I read about that, man. I did not see our city on there. Did they publish the ones that it is? Yeah, here we go. JetBlue wants to halt flights to 16 U.S. airports, including Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, Seattle, Las Vegas, Philadelphia, Dallas, and Detroit.
All the big ones.
Whew,
Other
through
than
September
LA.
30th. Delta says between April 1st and April 22nd, just 1 in 14 passengers daily flew on the airline's planes each way from those 9 airports.
1 to 14.
Wow.
So the maximum amount of passengers they had on one plane was 14.
Wow.
There's
is
all these videos of like
crazy.
just one person on a plane,
flight, yeah.
and like the flight attendants will just like address them by name. Cause, like,
I would be running
do you know
up
what I
and
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll
I'd
this
be
one guy,
running up
Bob.
and down the aisles yelling World Star and throwing shit the whole time. They can't. They're not. What are they gonna do? Pull the whole plane around just for one dude?
No.
No way. We're going where we're going, homeboy.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of work, Dan.
Yeah, it's way too much work.
Yeah,
I would
for
never
sure.
do that. I'm
No, I
very
know.
polite to people in public.
The
Yeah, that's
Transportation Department has already rejected scaling back a plan like this earlier in the month. Did they
Yeah.
get bailed out? Because their stocks are still miserable. Did the airlines get bailed out in this?
I don't know what's going on with that yet, but I know that everything is going to start opening back up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What-
like I
for
actually
better
want
or
to
worse.
fly the end of May,
At the end of May. Yeah.
so I better be able to.
For better or worse, everything's going to start opening up again soon.
Yeah.
Some this week, some next week, and then some 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't do it now.
Yeah, like if you've been
It's too late
flying this
now.
whole time,
Yeah.
like it's weird too. Like it seems like some things are ramping up now, whereas before they were. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like Texas is full blown all in. Right. They're
But ramping
they're
up
open.
with restrictions, where it's like, why are we doing that now? Like they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not sure on this one. But if
For
the airlines, I don't want to see the airlines go down for sure.
No.
Because we're already down to very, very few airlines as we speak. The stocks on some of these, like, dude, American Airlines down to $11 a share. I mean, you're getting dangerously close here to bankruptcy for most of these guys. If they're not up and at 'em by July, I don't know how they hang on. I know they were asking for somewhere in the neighborhood of $55 billion from the government. I don't know whether they got it or not, but we need the airlines. Jesus Christ. That would be
Yeah.
There were some
Gnarly.
big
We definitely
businesses
do.
that needed the reset that's happening right now.
Mhm.
The airlines, I don't think. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they were getting a little bit fucking crazy, the airlines, right?
Yeah, I mean, look,
Just
this
shoving people in, like,
now they might have to actually give you food, you know?
give you food, give you room. That's all I want. They might have to actually give you fucking room.
If they just put more cheese trays on the goddamn flights, everybody orders
Lord.
the cheese tray.
I want a
That's
whole
what I'm
plane and
talking
just
about.
one seat right in the middle of it.
You're just like nothing around you. That would actually
Hanging out, or
scare
just
me.
with one of those handrails.
Like a tram.
That would be awesome.
You could do it from here to like Charlotte. It's only 40
Oh my God,
minutes.
absolutely. I wouldn't mind it.
If
It's
you,
better than like what it is now.
Yeah,
Maybe-
jamming into a.
Maybe we should just start buying flights back and forth to Atlanta or something from here.
You can. I looked at a flight yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, we can do one flight a day back and forth and just make videos the whole time. We'll do the show from the plane.
Yeah, because there was a meeting in Austin, and I looked up flights. They were like $80. I mean, it's the craziest amount. If you're flying right now, congratulations. You're getting the best deal of your life. You're going to be the only one on that plane.
I know. My mom is like wanting to come out.
From California?
Like right now. She's like, they're so cheap. And I was like, I know, Mom, but fucking quarantine, bro. Like,
you're in the age.
No, it's not even that at this point. Like, I'm definitely past all of that. Like,
but our state's still on lockdown is the problem.
Yeah, and you don't want to be quarantined with one more fucking person.
Yeah, and that's the other problem with this airline thing is you're flying to other states where you don't know when their restriction dates are over and everything else. Therefore, it's like, man, I don't want to fly into California until it's open.
Yeah.
At all.
No.
Well, they're actually going further now. They're closing down all the beaches and fucking national parks and shit now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people they're ramping up at this point when it seems like there's.
It should be.
They can build a ramp up to my dick.
Blammo.
And then hop on these balls as well. Next up, an Oregon strip club creates a drive-through experience during the coronavirus lockdown. The Lucky Devil Lounge in Portland, coming to the stage, Miss Chandelier, has had to alter its business model due to the coronavirus pandemic, which has forced restaurants, bars, venues to close their dining and showrooms. So to help its employees continue to make money during the shutdown, the club opened up a drive-through experience. Can you jerk in your own car?
I'm loving this. I'm trying to figure out what.
Here's the argument I would make, right? Mm-hmm. So there's something called castle doctrine, and it applies particularly to defending oneself and also to defending oneself with a firearm, right? Mm-hmm. So in a lot of states, including North Carolina, your car is an extension of your home, right? It's your part of your castle.
Yeah.
The idea is that you are free to defend it without having to apologize or run away. Like, that's your shit.
King of the castle.
Which means, like, in North and South Carolina, I don't know about North Carolina anymore. I think they had some changes. But in South Carolina, if I'm driving in my car, that's considered my house, and somebody comes up and tries to break into my car, I can shoot them through the glass to make that stop, for example. Right. So I would take castle doctrine to the next level. But like, hey, you said it was my house. Where else am I supposed to be jerking off? Except for in my house. I'm in my home right now, sir. Could you please go away?
Yeah.
True, yeah.
And, if you're going to stay, you may want to wear a face shield of some sort.
I wonder what the fucking rules are in that.
Now, by the way, I'm looking at this setup, and I don't mind it.
No, it looks pretty dope, actually.
Do you know what I mean?
They have, like, tents covering everything and then all kinds of disco
heaters.
Lights and shit. Yeah.
They have, like, these girls on poles on either side of the tent, and then you sort of drive through the middle of them. For me, I'm just kind of like, how much time can you spend? Because it kind of looks like you can maybe fit like 3 or 4 cars in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem very pragmatic. But maybe he's trying to do it as a proof of concept, and he's going to build a much bigger outdoor strip club. Outdoor strip club.
If you have to drive through, though, a strip club like this, like the one that is shown here in the picture, the level of desperation, is at an all-time high.
I think it's more.
I don't think this will catch on.
Like, look, for example, I order from the restaurant down the street. Do I need to? Do I particularly want it that night?
Yeah.
Not really, but I want them to stay open for when.
Support, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of that. Where, like, maybe they're not loving whatever this concept is, but they want to, when this thing is all over, to be able to go back to the Lucky Devil and have it still be in business.
I've always said, I've been saying this whole time, that it's important for us to take care of our dirtbag economy as well.
Yeah.
It's not just about the heroes that are first responders or whatever. We need to be taking care of strippers and drug dealers, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Speaking of which.
Dude, because they're going to be, they're going to go first.
Speaking of which, there is a shortage of painkillers and sedatives right now in the United States.
I need to make a call.
Not in my house. Blammo.
Hospital groups have pushed for increased supply of drugs to ease patient struggles, and this is also a shortage for drug dealers too, Dan. So, I'm worried about you today.
I'm fine.
Okay, you're good. All right.
I've got plenty of drugs. Yeah.
Then last but not least, we saved the best story for last. Jesse, aliens are real. I tried to tell her this on the other show.
And what did I say?
Please explain it to Jessie.
Explain what? What am I explaining?
That they're real and they're fucking here, dude. And
What
we know
is
about
real?
it.
What is real?
Aliens.
What is real,
They
Dan?
exist.
An
Well,
unidentified fucking...
I know everyone has seen these 2 videos now.
Yeah.
The one from was it 2003 and one from 2017 or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Everyone's seen these videos. Now the government has admitted that they're real, right? That they're not doctored anyway, and that the audio has not been doctored.
Sure.
This is weird as shit, to be honest. I don't know what to think about this. Like the one...
They spent $22 million, our government, on this program. So
yeah.
It's fucking real. Jessie refuses to believe it.
Well,
no,
22
I'm hearing
million,
him out. I want it.
22 million is not that much, but the way that they described the movements of the aircraft, the reason that the Navy pilots were so taken aback by it is because with regard to physics, it should have been impossible for anything that we currently can conceive of. You know what I mean? Like the spinning rotation. It's so one of the things we're gonna have to do in space when we start space travel, we have to create artificial gravity, right? And the only way to do there's some ways to do it, but the best way to do it is to have like some kind of something rotating around the outside of it, right?
Right.
Like a magnetic field or whatever, something that's energy is making mass heavier, which is like it affects gravity, right? We would need something like that, and the way this Navy pilot described the way that the one in 2017 was moving, or the one in 2015 or whatever the fuck it was moving, that sounds exactly like that. So either somebody here figured it out or whatever, but we haven't figured it out yet, to my knowledge. Like we understand the physics behind it, but we don't have the technological capabilities to make it happen.
So when you say somebody figured it out here, you're talking about the United States or other countries?
On this
probably
planet?
The United States. Like most of the big technological breakthroughs, we've either developed ourselves or stolen in process and finished them off, like the atom bomb and shit like that. GPS, fucking rail guns, all that stuff. We did all that.
So that was my argument to it, where you were like, they don't know what it is, they don't know, and my only other thing was, could it be someone else on this planet that figured out that and didn't fucking tell you about it?
It's possible. I mean, it is possible, yes, that happened, but...
What do you think it is? An alien?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Really?
This
you have
story,
no idea.
This story started out, aliens are real,
It
Jesse.
says UFOs are real, not aliens.
Oh, okay. You said aliens
and
are
it's,
real.
But, I mean, the Occam's razor says the simplest answer is the easiest one. But what does that mean? Like, if the simplest answer is
not that aliens from another planet have that's not the easiest answer.
Why is that less probable than a government being able to develop something that defies the laws of physics?
Because my tiny brain can't fucking accept that.
That's not how that works.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what Occam's razor. No, so the
Occam's razor means the simplest
answer. The simplest answer is probably the right one. Yep. But how is some other, like, something else in the universe figuring out this technology that we never could, coming here, showing themselves for 1 second and flying away? How is that the simplest answer?
Because
the simplest answer to me is they didn't fucking tell you what they were doing here.
Because the rest of the universe is much, much older than where we are. Like
so
the planets that are planetary systems that are far away from us are like billions of years older than we are. So think the Earth is about 4.5-5 billion years old. We're here right now. Where's the Earth going to be in 2 billion years, provided life continues to exist?
I understand that, but what is the point? Like, if we were to check out another fucking planet with life on it,
it's the Star Wars principle: observation without interference. Or Star Trek. Like, you observe without interfering, and when you do get seen, it's a mistake on your part.
Yeah.
Like the last Star Trek movie that they made, I think it was the last one, with Chris Pine. They're observing some alien civilization. they end up saving it from destruction or whatever. Spoiler alert: the movie came out 4 years ago. Get fucked. But their cloaking technology fails. They get seen. Blah blah blah. Or they had to rescue homeboy. Like cloaking technology is an absolute real thing, and it's going to happen sometime in our lifetime, right? Essentially, all you're doing is you're lining the outside of your fucking whatever object it is, and there's cameras on both sides, and there's fucking displays on both sides, and it's taking real-time images and transferring them across, so it looks like you're seeing straight through it. That's all it is. It's very simple technology, and it will exist in a way that's scalable to a big object really soon. It's just a matter of having enough energy to do it.
Why isn't it a bigger deal then?
I have no idea.
Like, why am I not seeing it?
You have seen it. Those Chinese dudes that have that blanket that fucking, it's like a like one of those emergency blankets that's made out of that metal material or whatever.
Sure.
It's like that, and it can do that, but not at a great enough resolution. Plus, there's all kinds of computations. If it was an aircraft flying through the air, when you're looking at it, you're not really seeing this. You're seeing this.
Yeah, right? You got to calculate the speed.
But that's all just math.
Yeah,
it's easy.
And I agree. That'll happen in our lifetime for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be like 10. I mean, it may exist now, and that might be what the fuck we're looking at.
Right.
To be honest. That would make a lot of sense to me, too, if human beings developed cloaking technology.
So one thing Jesse and I were chatting about, which we don't have the answer to, is in this video that was released by the Pentagon, where they lock in on what appears to be a flying saucer, right? Or something of that nature. Why didn't they shoot it?
Because you don't know what it is.
Why would you? Yeah, you don't need to.
Well, at a certain point, if you've seen enough of these, right? Don't you want to capture it or shoot it down or to try to figure out what this is?
I would try to get close to it. I don't know. I wouldn't shoot at it. I mean,
could you?
You would just shoot right
so
away.
those lines that were on the video, right? Does that mean you were locked into the object and you could fire a shot at it?
I don't know what kind of aircraft. I think it was an F-15 or something. So yeah, I guess technically they could have. But what would be the point?
Look, if it scared the shit out of me, you thought it could harm America.
Something scaring you because it exists is not a reason to shoot that motherfucker.
No,
man.
I shoot first and I ask questions later. I don't check to see if the snake is poisonous. I just shoot the snake. I don't care.
Yeah, that's dumb. Snakes are good for the ecosystem.
They're terrible. That's a whole box of nope for me on snakes all the way around.
Well, regardless or irregardless.
Yeah. Whoa, hang on. Gonna put on the Felix Grays on this one.
I don't know why that was funny. Yeah. You can't do that. There's no. What would be the point? Like they're observe without interfering. If that's like if you went somewhere to observe without interfering, and all of a sudden whatever you were observing turned around and started fucking your shit up, obviously you're gonna have to retaliate.
Yeah.
Blow it away first.
No, if they have that kind of advanced technology, they're going to fuck us up.
I'm just saying blow it away.
You don't really want to piss off.
Nah, blow it out of the sky. Figure it out later. That's the point in the show. We get to the Drinkin Bro of the Week. This one was submitted by Tasha Short from Ohio. Has been a member of Drinkin Bros since 2018. She is nominating Brandon Short. She says the reason for the nomination is my husband is a badass Marine vet who served 2 tours in Afghanistan. He is now living his best life listening to you guys. I wouldn't call him obsessed, but we definitely listen to you guys all the way down to Myrtle Beach for our honeymoon. You know they fucking party.
Yeah.
Myrtle!
I fucking miss Myrtle, dude.
I live for Myrtle Beach days. He absolutely hates when I enter him in anything, so here we are. He listens to you guys while working and switches over to Drinkin Broettes, which I hate to admit he has turned me on to listening to as well. Who wants their husband to be right? And that's why.
Okay. I was gonna say, you hate to admit. Come on, girl.
Drinkin Broettes, a fantastic show. Subscribe on iTunes and Spotify, and they're also on our Drinkin Bros podcast YouTube page. Brandon is one of the most humble, quiet badasses I could ever imagine, putting country, God, and family first in that order. Just want to give him credit where credit is due. Keep kicking ass and entertaining. I know it sure has helped him. Cheers, Tasha Short. Fuck yeah, dude. It was a positive one. We never know when we open these what's going to happen.
Exactly.
But this was awesome, man. Cheers to Brandon Short. Cheers to Tasha. Thank you for listening. And subscribe to Drinkin Bros podcast on YouTube and Drinkin Broettes as well. And we keep it in the fam here. Front Toward Enemy with Dakota Meyer. Savage Saturdays with Derek Weida. They're all here. and we're looking to expand in the fall. Fun show, kids. A lot of fake news out there that we sort through week to week, and we give you the realest of the fakest news. For D'Anthony Hollaway, Jessie Wiseman, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin Bros Fake News. Good afternoon and good night, everyone.